22 down and 2 to go as we take a look at the Paralympic and Olympic mascots. We are in Gangneung in the Republic of Korea on the East Coast as we take a look at the Gangneung Hockey Center, which will play host to all the hockey events at the Paralympic and Olympic Games in 2018. We are into the medal games now here on day 8, the final day of competition at the 2017 World Para Ice Hockey Championships. And it is going to be a loud building here inside the Gangneung Hockey Center as the host nation, Republic of Korea, sitting in 3rd place after preliminary action. They will take on Norway with the bronze medal on the line. We welcome you inside our broadcast booth. Mike Kelly and Brent Pope with you. And both of these teams coming into this game having to feel really good about themselves. The Republic of Korea finishing 3rd place, really having a terrific tournament. And for the Norwegians, they had to pick up full points in their game yesterday against Italy to have an opportunity to play for a medal, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, it's different routes for both of these teams to get to this bronze medal game. If you're just tuning in and you haven't been watching all week, well, good timing, because Republic of Korea have been putting on a show. Yes, they're the host of this event, and yes, of course, they are going to be participating in the Paralympic Games, but they wanted to come here and let everybody know that they're a new powerhouse in the sport of para ice hockey. They've done exactly that. And although they had a little bit of a hiccup against the Italians when they were beaten in extra time, they held the Canadians tough. Of course, probably a defeat against the Americans expected. But this matchup against Norway, these two teams will give as good as they can get here right now in this matchup. Republic of Korea may be the favorite of the two sides. Norway is a very cerebral, a very intelligent ice hockey nation and para ice hockey team. They'll know how in a game like this to get the best from themselves. But Republic of Korea, they have had a little bit of star power. They've had a little bit of sparkle, and there's something a little bit special about the way they performed in this tournament, and we expect them to have probably their best game in this 45 minutes coming up.
Well, both teams have their share of game breakers. We'll get into that in just a moment, but ahead of this matchup, Brent had an opportunity to speak with coaches from both sides, and we'll start with the Norwegian head coach, Espen Hedge.
Coach, final day here today. It's been a great tournament for Norway here in the bronze medal match. Your team seems to be in good spirits ahead of this match.
Yeah, it's a lot of positive energy in the locker room. You guys were very happy to beat Italy last night, and we hope to be able to beat Korea today.
Talking about last night, a victory, maybe, I don't think you were surprised, but maybe the Italians were a strong team, potentially maybe favored in that match. Talk us through how last night's match went.
It's an exhausting game for both teams, I guess. I mean, we know the Italians are a strong team, and we felt we were able to give them a good match, and happy to beat them at the end.
Norway's had a few twists in this tournament, some ups and some downs, and finally here you want to finish it with an up. You've rested players, you've had some injured players. Talk us through your journey to get to this bronze medal match.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you get when it's a round-robin tournament. 7 teams, 6 matches. It's always unpredictable. Really happy to be here, and hope to be able to take home the bronze.
And final question ahead of Gangneung and Pyeongchang, the Paralympics, and of course the Olympics next year. Your general thoughts about the area, about Republic of Korea, about the venue, and how ready Korea is to host the Paralympic Games.
In one word, I would describe the entire experience as very professional. People are very helpful, always service-minded, good food, nice people, funny people. Looking forward to coming back next year.
Thank you for your time. We wish you the best today and hope Norway plays their best game.
Thank you, Brent.
And as you listen to the comments there from Espen Hedge talking about how excited they are, Norway, who had a little bit of a winding route to get to this game, they know this is their opportunity. It's where they wanted to be ahead of the tournament, but of course, a few hiccups en route, as you're going to have in any tournament at this sort of level with the best of the best here. And they are, of course, excited about maximizing this chance here with the game coming up. And they have a couple of key things, really, to contribute to that. As we talk about that game that they played against the Italians yesterday, it was Klakeg, their defenseman. They've got a number of key players that know how to play in big games, but this was a blue liner who gets up on the play, gets this loose rebound, and that was the difference in the hockey game. They had to win in regulation yesterday to get the full 3 points, Norway, in order to qualify in that 4th position. Anything less than that wasn't going to do, and Italy was going to get that 4th position, and they would have been here. But Claqueg just had an outstanding hockey game yesterday. He scores the only goal that he has scored in this tournament, and what a time to get it, and particularly coming off the blue line, providing the offense in just a 1-goal hockey game, 1-0 win. You talk about game breakers or players that know how to deliver the big moments. Norway have those kind of players, and they've got that experience.
Well, typically, you look to Auden Bakke perhaps, or Pedersen on the blue line as well. It was Claqueg's first point of this World Championship. He's been a dynamic player for them, no question, all the way throughout. But what a time to get his first goal of this tournament as he puts Norway into the bronze medal game. They will be in tough against the Republic of Korea. Very speedy and dynamic team in their own right. And a little bit earlier, Brent had an opportunity to catch up with their coaching staff.
Coach, final day, and Republic of Korea in a bronze medal match. Any lineup changes, anything to be considering ahead of this one?
Yeah, it's a little bit changes. Today's starting lineup, goalie is number 31, it's Gangneung, and so player is the same player.
You have a little bit of movement back and forth between Gangneung and Kim Jae-woong. Just it depends on performance on the day. Is that how decisions are made?
Yeah, so we wanted 2 goalies at this tournament. So one game and switch is 1 game, and we'll play it. But 2 players is a very good job, and we wanted to that level up. So we wanted to level up. So nice that this tournament is a very good job, 2 goalies.
We saw that against the United States, you played both goaltenders. You've used this tournament well, giving all of your players ice time and then the opportunity. Bronze medal para ice hockey champions, Republic of Korea. How does that sound?
Yeah, if we get the medal, it's the first bronze medal April tournament. So, and hometown is a first record. So we wanted to make a writing history. So all the player, so wanted to get the medal.
As the tournament's gone on, you've got more and more attention locally from media here in Gangneung and across Republic of Korea. Is Gangneung, is Republic of Korea para ice hockey team ready to host the Paralympic Games next March in 2018?
Yeah, so next year is 2018 Paralympic. So we host team. So every player and every people in the Korean Republic of people. So we wanted to show that the good performance and good result. So players focus their game and next prepare the Paralympic.
It's an exciting time. We wish you the best of luck today, and may the best team win.
Thank you very much.
It's been a privilege for us to get down in and around the dressing rooms, to have a chat with the coaches, and to get to know a little bit about their personalities there. And Kim Tae-ho, really, at this point in the tournament, it's no surprise that Republic of Korea are here. The way they got out of the gates with the first couple of victories, it really set the table for them in this tournament. And of course, as they moved on and the way they played against the top nations in the world, they deserve to be in this bronze medal game. And now it's about maximizing the opportunity that they've given themselves.
No question about it. And when we look at a couple of players for this Republic of Korea team that will have to be a focal point for the Norwegians, Jang Don-shin, number 20. He's got 1 goal, 1 assist in this tournament. He's got a really heavy shot also, and he's certainly capable of breaking some things open for the Republic of Korea. We say he plays in a support role because everyone's in a support role when you've got this superstar in your team.
He has been that player, and you need one if you're going to be a team that's come from Pool B and comes up to Pool A and you're hosting the Paralympic Games. You have to have someone to rally around, someone who's going to lead your side, and somebody who can be a game breaker. They've got that in Jung Si-won. We expect to see the same today. Now, we didn't see as much out of them when they played against the Americans because the Americans across the board have team speed and they can close down on an individual player like that. In a team sport like para ice hockey, you do need puck support in order to be able to be aggressive and to advance and play. Chung Si-won needs somebody to go with them. It might be Dong-shin who is able to get up on one of those odd man rushes and to make a play count today for the Republic of Korea.
Well, Chung Si-won has 8 points so far in this tournament, double anybody else on the roster. He really can be a one-man wrecking crew for this Republic of Korea team. They are fast, they are dynamic, and they will be a handful for the Norwegians, who are feeling good about themselves coming in off that big victory against the Italians yesterday. It's the bronze medal game, Republic of Korea versus Norway, and it's coming up next. So here we go, the teams taking the ice. It is the Republic of Korea taking on Norway for bronze. Our officials for this afternoon's game, the referee from Canada, Kevin Webinger. The linesman from the United States of America, Nicholas Bradshaw. And from Canada, Matthew Fergenbaum. They're stretching it out, getting ready to officiate what will likely be a tight checking game between these two teams as they huddle up at their respective ends. We'll take a look at their Norwegian roster. A couple players that stand out to you, Brent.
Well, Kjell Hamar got a shutout in that game against the Italians. Rolf Pedersen really sets the table from the blue line. He, number 3. It was, though, 23, Jean Klakeg, who made the outstanding step forward, really, and advancing himself to be aggressive. It's Solberg, number 17, that has 3 goals in this tournament so far. And Norway doesn't score a lot of goals, and as you can tell by a 1-0 victory over Italy, they rely on good team defense, they've got balance, and they rely on timely scoring, and they'll need to have that same element again here today.
For the Republic of Korea, we already touched on the superstar, Chung Si-won. He wears a letter, he's number 14 up at forward. Another player to keep an eye on as well, number 28, Lee Jung-kyung. He's got 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points in this tournament. Number 55, Jang Jong-ho, also with 4 points. They are the next leading scorers, next to the Rocket Man, the superstar, number 14. So some dynamic players on either side. As we take a look now at the coaching staff, Team Norway. It is Espen Hegde, styling and profiling as always as he gets his team set for this matchup. And they are thrilled to be playing in this bronze medal game, as a day and a half ago or so, it looked like that would be tough for them to do. The head coach for the Republic of Korea is Si Kwang-suk. He is motivating his team right now, very vocal on the bench. It is Norway in white, the Republic of Korea in blue. And we are just 90 seconds away from puck drop here. Bronze medal matchup, Kjell Hamar in goal for the Norwegians. He's been very good with great numbers in this tournament.
Yeah, he's under a goal a game. He's .98 and then 86.67, which are pretty good numbers. And Gangneung is going to get the start for Korea in this one. 1.85 is his goals against, 90.28. That's good numbers. If you're up over 90%, of course, 9 out of 10 saves you are making on the shots, of course, that come in. Those are good numbers. It doesn't matter whether it's hockey or para-ice hockey, and they'll be needing that. Republic of Korea, we give so much credit, of course, to number 14 with Chung Si-won, but as a collective, as a team, as you saw the direction coming in from their coach there, they are applied. They have good structure, they've got a good defensive game plan, and it's not a fluke that they're in this game. It isn't just entirely timely scoring for them too. They have been executing a game plan from the start, and for themselves, I don't think they're surprised. I think as the tournament has gone on, they've got more and more comfortable with realizing that they can play with the world's best.
It's been a really interesting rotation in goal for the Republic of Korea. They seem happy just to rotate back and forth no matter the size or the scope of the game. Very confident in both goaltenders. Lee Jae-wong has played terrific as well at 2.14 goals against average. Yu Meng-young seems to be the 2 of that 1A, 1B tandem who might be a little bit bigger, a little more skilled. As we get ready for puck drop here, it's the bronze medal game between Norway and the Republic of Korea.
Chang Jong-ho against Magnus Bogle. And it will be Norway just to get control of it. Pedersen, who's got a real good sense for where the puck is likely to end up on those face-offs, and he just kind of throws it. What we saw yesterday from Norway, as 5-player blocks, they moved the puck as well as I had seen throughout the tournament so far. They made short passes, and they got everybody involved early.
It will be a key for both teams to try to get off on the right setting here in this hockey game, as we see the speed right here of Chung Si-won. Not a big guy as you see him get bumped off the puck there, but boy, is he fast, and he's equally as effective defensively as well. He's always able to get back in time and make sure that things are shored up well for the Republic of Korea on defense.
He has been outstanding at both ends of the rink, but teams are learning they've got to play him physical. As here comes Bogle. This is a little bit of a break here, a little bit of an awkward line change for Republic of Korea, as they, again, a couple of times, they've been a little bit weak with that. As Pedersen comes in, he'll find a lane as he weaves and winds and looks, and where, in fact, will he go with the puck now? He elects just to hold up, and now he's just fed it here, coming down the slot, and a shot will just get thwarted there by this stingy Korean defense. And there is Chung Si-won underneath his own goal line again, as we have seen so often in this tournament, and he ends up just delivering a clearing play that unfortunately was a little bit too heavy, and it will go down the ice for icing against, and really would have preferred, of course, to advance onto that, but the referee's right on it. As you have a good look there at Espen Hedgut. He was all personality today in the interview and ahead of the interview too, certainly being playful with me just about the day ahead, and good for Norway to find themselves into this game. They have had to work a little bit of a longer road in this tournament than maybe they might have expected, but I don't think they particularly mind. It's all about return from their commitment to this tournament, and they've been, of course, one of the perennial top nations in the world in para ice hockey. As Norstoga is a very reliable pair of hands back there, and they've been very steady so far, Norway, and as predicted, they managed the puck extremely well. So coming out from behind, this is Dong Shin. He's one to look out for, as Chang Dong Shin advances it across, and at number 21 as well, Lee Jae-sung has a big hit coming in. This is their number 27, Cho Byung-suk, and he missed a couple of games in this tournament for an awkward collision against Norway earlier on. So he's back and involved, and we're just over a couple of minutes in this opening period.
Yes, in the preliminary round, he was suspended for teeing Ole Uiseth, number 71, who's on the ice right now as well. He had to be taken out of the game on a stretcher, and fortunately, he was back in their next game, scored a goal for them in that game as well. So he's back on the ice here and trying to make a difference for the Norwegians, who are happy to send the puck down the ice there, get out of a little bit of trouble, and that will go the length for icing. But a good start for both teams. Some early zone time offensively at the beginning for the Norwegians, and looked like they might have a couple lanes for a shot, but opting to hold on to the puck, wait for support, try to generate better opportunities, and then in the last minute and a half or so, it was the Republic of Korea getting the puck into the Norwegian zone, but unable to get anything productive on net.
Well, you watch there, Seo Kwon-suk, the Korean coach, and just looking at his body language, and although there's a good shot in on Shel Hamar, just that international language of hockey, and it looked to me as though he was trying to impress upon his team to get in, make contact, but then, of course, get off your man. Don't spend time in that collision zone getting tied up. Make the contact, separate, and get movement again so you can advance. And here is movement as Chung Si-won comes across. That is when they're most effective. Good shot in as Hamar comes across and gloves it, but they need speed, they need movement, and you have to get separation from the defensive players in order for Korea to play to the best of their ability.
Well, that's a great play there by the Koreans, and it's something we've seen them do often in this tournament. It works well to their advantage when they're in their own defensive zone to get the puck to the middle of the ice to Chung Si-won. When he's going through the middle of the ice in the neutral zone with speed, he's so dangerous, and it was a tape-to-tape pass. He's able to take it in stride, bust in on goal for an opportunity. As the fans continue to fill in here.
Oh, it's a broken play, and almost enough there, as it was Chung Si-won tried to get enough of it, but then Hamar is committed, and as the puck was bobbling along, equally it could have just found its way inside that left post, and Norway do well to control it, but this is better offensive zone time from Korea as they've been able to sustain this last 30 seconds from that face-off. And Norway are having to work hard here just to find a solution to get out of their own zone.
Well, it was a good opening couple of shifts for the Norwegians, and now they've been having in their own zone ever since. The ever-dependable Rolf Pedersen, the 47-year-old veteran on the back end here, with a nice outlet pass, and the Norwegians will try to get something going.
There's been a response for sure from Korea. That was good passing plays, the short passes from Norway to start, and now you're seeing better anticipation from Korea, taking away any extra movement being made available to Norway. Both of these teams, of course, want to close down time and space, but that, of course, is the move and blocks of 5. That's the challenge ultimately in a para ice hockey game. 60 by 30 meters they're covering out there. As now it's Norway again trying to make a play east-west across their own defensive zone, and this has been fed up well weighted and well received, even better by Magnus Bogle as he takes that with the shaft of his stick, laying it down on the ice. And I've not personally had the opportunity to do that, but I know certainly from hockey that is not an easy move and maneuver as they work here now, Norway, to pick that up, and again just disrupting a whole lot of team movement from Korea. But Korea in numbers will now advance across the blue line.
Nice play there at the blue line by Klakeg. Physical play there to make sure that the Koreans aren't able to get the zone with any kind of speed, and some more physical play in the neutral zone here by Tori-Joakim Rivera. Doesn't get a ton of ice time for the Norwegians, trying to make the most of what he does get.
Norway's not overly big up front, and so if they try to get into a game of separating a defensive player off the puck with their size, it really isn't to their advantage. They just don't give a lot of loose play up. They keep the puck on their stick and make sure that they get in good position so you have difficulty breaking them down. They'll send this one down the length of the ice, though, and it's for icing. 9:09 officially by the central score clock left in the opening period. As you can see, we're scoreless, and really, other than off that face-off in that last sequence, I haven't seen a whole lot, but this in the neutral zone, some of the body contact going on, and both teams wanting to get themselves physically involved.
Fans having a good time here as spectators still entering the arena. A good crowd here to watch the host nation play.
Gangneung Hockey Center, as we say, of course, home to the Paralympics and the Olympics. In just under a year's time, there is also another arena nearby that will also be involved in hosting these games. But this is the prime venue, 10,000 seat capacity, but here in our vantage point, probably about 1,500 seats will be utilized for the press tribunes. But this is Han Min-soo. They'll try to make a play, broken up Klakeg. He has really picked up his offensive sense and awareness, and maybe just as we gave him credit prior to yesterday for just being a steady blue liner and a stay-at-home defenseman is probably the easiest way to describe him. He's just been more activated, stepping up in that seam, and yesterday and today, and that could be a difference in a what might be a low-scoring hockey game. But this is again Norway just crafting themselves forward and managing the puck and forcing Korea to have to keep regrouping and finding ways to make plays to get through them.
We've seen some errant passes by both sides here through the middle of the ice that have resulted in icing calls, and more than we're used to seeing from these two teams, who are certainly capable of completing these type of passes. Perhaps some early nerves here with 8:15 to go in the first period, but an offensive zone opportunity for Espen Hedge's team. As Oasith loses the draw, and now the Koreans with a chance to start out.
It was interesting, the game, Italy, who take Republic of Korea to overtime and ultimately win that in game-winning shots, as now Hammer comes up with it. But there is such a thing, as we've seen in this tournament, with just 8 days of competition, 7 teams in it. You wonder sometimes whether fatigue can come at the wrong time, and maybe it did for Italy as this is turned over. That maybe comes at the wrong time. They score as Korea just cashed in on what was a very loose play, and the bounce comes back to haunt Norway as they didn't quite factor it was going to come out as sharp as that, and Korea make them pay.
Lee Ju-sung with the opportunity here. Hammer comes out to play it, and Jakobsen can't handle the puck. He gets going the wrong way, and now late getting back to the goal is the Norwegian goaltender, Kjell Hammer, and he gets a little piece of the stick on it, but it's not enough. As Lee Ju-sung, the 26-year-old, 4 years he's been playing the sport. He was on the 2014 Paralympic team, and he gets the Republic of Korea on the board early. Noticeably loud crowd here as they are in favor of the home side, and a huge pop there for the Republic of Korea as they get the opening goal in this game.
And an opening goal is a big one, as the percentage is generally favoring the team who does score first, particularly in a game like this where goals might be hard to come by. That was, in fact, a benefit received by Korea. Yes, they make the most of it, and then Hamar comes across, but oh my, have the Koreans just taken advantage of what was really the first real open opportunity for them thus far in this one. But here comes Norway in response, and will they get a good look in on it? And a good glove save. That's not to be underestimated, just how difficult that is as well.
The first real opportunity for Norway, and it comes halfway through the first period as we'll step aside for a moment. The crowd buzzing here. It's 1-0 Republic of Korea. Welcome back inside the Gangneung Hockey Center. It is 1-0 Republic of Korea. If you're just joining us, this is how it went down.
It was just a loose play, and I think just getting tied up there, wasn't it? As the defenseman just couldn't quite get the angle, trying to just carry it into the far corner, and just one of those plays that just, it left it. But this now, a face-off inside now, this end zone. And Korea facing what could have been potentially a Pedersen shot from the outside, and a shot there. Now it will beat Norway. Quick picked up. It's Chung Si-won who comes back to control it. And Norway just trying to get collection of it, and those are always difficult goals to concede. You never want to concede one that is earned by the opposition, but when maybe you give them a little bit of the benefit, maybe sometimes those are even more difficult to recover from. As it will go D to D, and Norway just stepping away, not trying to overly assert themselves. I think they are equally mindful. They don't want to allow another break here from Korea. And here is Chung Si-won coming in, trying to get it, and he's just temporarily put himself offside, and it'll be picked up by Oiseth. And he does a good job just to make sure it's deep in the zone for Norway. Hammer up first one on it. That's better forechecking from Norway. They're right tight, and so equally is the referee to blow the whistle. And there'll be a face-off there. And line changes for Korea as they quickly are asserting themselves with the substitution, and just the body language right now just a little bit more casual, or maybe a little slower from Norway. And that might be just as much about managing this game too when they played that late game yesterday.
A real up and down couple of days for the Norwegians. They managed to get that victory, a big win over the Italians to get into this hockey game, a 1-0 win. It was a really close matchup. So they're riding high coming into this one. They need to find a way to get on the board here as the Republic of Korea has taken that early lead. 5:45 still to go in the first period, and only really one good look on goal so far for the Norwegians.
And of course, They are going to want to keep pushing there. They can ill afford a second goal against. That really would be, with the way things have been playing for them in their last few games, probably a bigger hurdle than they might be able to overcome. As deep into the corner, this is Magnus Bogle. It's better, though, on this shift as they are initiating and puck supporting. This is a better play, coming out along the goal line, and it's just a swatting attempt at clearance from Korea. Solberg, who has 3 goals in this tournament, tries to go back, but he's been separated from the puck, but he holds on to it. And good stubborn play from Norway not to give up quickly. There's a whistling shot. And how about that, come firing off the stick from the blue line? That was Martin Vornes.
Well, he's got a great shot. A number of these Norwegian players have terrific shots. Jakobsen's another guy that comes to mind, number 65 on the back end. And they can whip it from just about anywhere in the offensive zone. So a good idea to try to put pucks on net. Not a lot of opportunities for the Norwegians so far. Step number 1 is just starting to get pucks on goal and make sure that you test Gangneung, who's a capable goaltender, but if you don't get a lot of shots on net, you're not going to have a lot of luck scoring. 4:29 to go in period number 1 as we step aside. 1-0 Korea. .429 to go in period number 1, a face-off in the Norwegian zone. It will be Oaseth taking the draw for Norway, and Jang Jo-han for the Republic of Korea. It is 1 here, and out starts Pettersson.
Pettersson just out in front of his own goal there. A little bit of a dangerous one, but he was looking for an opening and waiting for his long forward here, which was Hamra, to get open. And a little bit of high posting now going on from Norway. That's a good play, though, just to keep the Koreans from advancing. Chang Chong-ho was the player that maybe could have got around, and always got to ride that fine edge between a little bit of interference, a little bit of body pressure. Here now, from a distance, Jakobsen, and a pretty good shot there. Stretching out is Gangneung. He's had to make 1 tricky save so far, always depending on how the goaltender approaches the shot, whether it's sled on or side on. Of course, there are different angles, or of course different possible holes that might develop depending on their goaltending stance. And from a distance, we see it often enough in pair ice hockey. Teams will just try their luck and have a see just how ready the goaltender is from range.
Well, a nice job there of closing up very quickly on Chung Si-won, number 14. The Republic of Korea. Pettersson not giving him any time and space when he winds it up. And here he winds it up right here, looking for an opportunity on goal. He can be so effective once he gets speed.
He creates his own advantage there. They score. Talk about opportunists. This Republic of Korea team is dynamic. Give them a chance and they'll score. They've had 2, and there's 2 on the board.
Well, coming into this game with 2 was Kim Young-sung. 2 goals, but he's got 3 now, and he can thank the shifty, creative, speedy play of Chung Si-won. Around the net, Jakobsen can't catch him. A centering pass, and there with good position on Oaseth is Kim Yoo-sung. 33 years old. He's in his 3rd World Championship. He's competed in wheelchair fencing at the national level, a multi-sport athlete, and with the precision of a fencer, he puts the puck in the back of the net. It's 2-0. The Koreans lead with under 3 minutes to go in the first.
It really is exceptional to watch how clinical this Korean side is with the opportunities they do get, because just because you're in position doesn't mean you're going to take advantage of it. And their efficiency from range, even in tight like that, they generally, more often than not, get full return for the opportunities they generate. And the shot again comes in, but Chung Si-won looked to be just advancing. It was a broken play in which he intercepts, and momentum, you get a sense every time he gets the puck on his stick that he's about to create something. And even that probably surprised all of us, just how well he was able to pick out Kim Young-sung in front, and then equally another goal on the board.
It's so impressive watching him because he's able to do so much with the puck at such a high level of speed. I mentioned at the start of the tournament he was a player to watch for this Korean team because he was arguably the fastest player in para ice hockey of any nation anywhere in the world. Klakeg an opportunity now and a rebound chance. I think it's safe to say now, watching this tournament, Chung Si-won is the fastest para ice hockey player on the planet.
It really is, of course, a great talking point, because you comparatively look at how he matched up against the Americans, and unfairly to Chung Si-won, every one of the Americans, oh, a good little deflection there. It was Klakeg again, in and around the idea of creating more offense today, as it is going to be Korea. And we'll finish that point in a moment here, as this is an important clearance from Korea just to settle things down, and maybe they send a little bit too long. It'll go for icing, but maybe unfairly to Chung Si-won is that every one of the Americans skate quicker across the board. Equally, we're probably a little more committed as we watch this here to take away his time and space, and therefore he didn't get a chance maybe to show one-on-one what he could do in that hockey game.
Well, the Americans are just another level, and Canada will have its hands full with them in the gold medal game coming up a little later on today. Is a flip play out of the zone here. Norwegians will collect again, 1 minute to go in period number 1.
So it's Pedersen deep in his own zone, and he moves it D to D. And Varnes tries to get onto it again, but you're just seeing good anticipation, great instincts here. A play out in front, here they come again. And handcuffed at the last second, they've been able to draw a penalty. And going off to the penalty box, it looks like Jakobsen. And Korea now with 40.3 remaining have themselves a power play and maybe a chance to steal another one before the first intermission.
Well, Jakobsen thought he had a penalty as he went to the box, but it's actually out in Bakke there, number 22. You see him get the stick up on the attacking player, and it will be number 22, one of the most dynamic offensive players for this team, out in Bakke. He gets a hooking penalty. So now with 40 seconds to go in the first period, an opportunity for the Koreans to really put an exclamation point on this period if they can find a way to score before the break.
Chung Si-won will quarterback this power play. He goes right to the central blue line position. And he is he's the master craftsman back there. And really the architect of how the play will flow, how it's going to shape out, and more often than not, how it's going to finish. As Chung Si-won is just surveying his options from here. He measures it up, he takes a shot. And I think that if it finds on goal, maybe was another goal. I think it late deflection ends up just firing wide of the post. Maybe one more, but time will be against them. And that shot there from Chung Si-won, not sure who it hits in front, but I don't think Hamar would save it if it was on the left-hand side of the goal.
I don't think he saw that at all. It hit him. He was in a good position in the net to make the save, and he does make the save, but that one just ricocheted off of him, and the Norwegians somewhat fortunately are out of that period with the score at 2-0. They'll have to regroup in the next 15 minutes here, as there is still a minute 20 to go on the Korean power play. We'll be back with much more in the first intermission, highlights and more coming up. It's 2-0 Republic of Korea. Through 15 minutes of play, it is the Republic of Korea with a 2-goal lead over Norway. Welcome inside the Gangneung Hockey Center. Mike Kelly and Brent Pope with you. And in that period, we saw a lot of the speed that we've come to see in this tournament by the Republic of Korea. The Norwegians had a little bit of zone time to start the period, but from there, the ice was really tilted in the host nation's favor.
Korea just makes their chances happen, don't they? They broke up the play a couple of times, and we'll have a look at the highlights here of the couple goals and just the 1 or 2 chances that Norway had. But you know, the 2-0 scoreline is entirely earned by Korea. This was the first one where going in behind, and Jakobsen, I think he just gets tied up. I think he tries to make the angled shot. He's unable to, and then quickly pounced on there is Lee Jun-sung. And he just makes the most of what's more than a half opportunity. This is a full opportunity. Hamar has no chance to get back, and that's just an unfortunate play. Those things happen. Unfortunately, when they happen in big games like this, it really is impacting. And to score the first goal, it helped Korea really settle in, and all of a sudden things started to change in that opening 15.
Well, there's the speed again of this Korean team, and we take a look at more plays through the neutral zone here coming Jakobsen, and he does get a shot just wide of the goal. There wasn't a lot coming from the Norwegians offensively, and then the speed of Chung Si-hwan. He's so fast, so creative as he goes right around Jakobsen, centering pass on the tape, and it's the second goal of the game for the Korean side. But what a dynamic player number 14 in blue is. Call him the Rocket Man for a reason.
Well, what you find with watching him play is actually, I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know where he's going to go. I don't know who he sees, and I don't know just really how he's thinking about how he's going to attack the goal. Because he's got speed, you just anticipate that he's going to keep it, he's going to keep going, and maybe he's going to go for another circle of the wagons, but then he finds that pass there on a backhand, through a defender's stick, under Hamar's stick, right out to his teammate's stick. It's in the back of the net. And he does things that actually, as I say, I don't know what he's going to do. And that's the most impressive part, because I'm sure the defenders don't either. And they have been able to, well, not been able to, unfortunately, in much of this tournament, been able to anticipate what his game plan has been either.
Very, very effective player for the Korean side. We take a look at the statistics through one period of play. 2-0 the score, 5-1 the shots on goal. We saw the missed opportunity from the blue line area by Jakobsen in the highlights, but not a lot going on for this Norwegian team. They are going to have to find a way to try to create some more opportunities offensively. And as we get set for period number 2, there's still 1 minute and 20 seconds of power play time that the Norwegians will have to kill off. So for them to have a chance in this hockey game, they have to make sure they don't fall behind 3-0, because coming back from a deficit like that against a fast and creative team like the Republic of Korea, not easily done. We'll be back in just a moment as we continue our intermission coverage here from the Gangneung Hockey Center. It is 2-0 the host nation in front. Back inside the Gangneung Hockey Center, 2-0, the host nation out in front. The fans here at the rink absolutely enjoying that first period of play, that opening 15 minutes. And for the Norwegians, they were fortunate perhaps to have the score be at 2-0 as some really good pressure by the Koreans at the end of that period. They had 40 seconds of power play time, and they're going to have another minute and 20 seconds when we start the second period with an opportunity to really break this game open.
It is, and you know, actually in the interview ahead of the game, I was just chatting with Kim Tae-ho, and I wished him and said, I hope you play the best game today that you have of this tournament, and I equally wish that to Norway as well. But right now, Korea are playing the better game of the two sides, and with 1:20 left on a power play, if they score here, it really is one of those situations where this could be good night and good bed, as they could find a way here just to put this to bed. And you know, that's Korea's lethal nature, as they are able to be almost merciless in a situation like this, and they don't necessarily play a nasty game. It's just very intimidating that they take full advantage of the limited opportunities they get. And I'm sure Norway right now are just wondering, how are they going to get back in this hockey game, particularly with this penalty kill to start the second period.
Well, that will be the key for them, obviously, find a way to kill that power play, that penalty kill rather. And also for them, Rolf Pedersen, number 3, the defenseman, we've seen him be so engaged in this tournament and such a great puck mover for this team. He wasn't quite as noticeable perhaps as we've seen him at other points in this tournament. Again, they've got to find a way to kill this penalty. But for Norway, if they allow the next goal, you just talked about it, trying to beat this great Korean goaltending tandem, it doesn't matter who's in net for them. That's an uphill battle if you have to put in a minimum of 3 to get it to extra time. So for the Norwegian side, this is such a big minute and 20 seconds in this game. Perhaps it can be a real turning point for them if they find a way to effectively kill the penalty and then start generating some chances.
Well, it's the goaltending for Korea, but it's also their entire team. And it's the defense who plays so well in front of Gangneung, but it's the forwards who come back with responsibility. They're accountable, and they're made accountable by their coach. It's not as if they sit and cherry pick at the far blue line and wait for service. They are as strong coming back as they are going forward, and that's a very difficult team to break down. So Norway have got their hands full here in this hockey game. That second goal was really pivotal.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. A lot of hands being clapped here at the Gangneung Hockey Center. The host nation is out in front, 2-0 after the first period of play. We will have the second period for you when we come back. We are getting set for second period action from the Gangneung Hockey Center. It is the host nation, the Republic of Korea, out in front 2-0. We take a look at the Olympic and Paralympic mascots. The white tiger, the black bear. The teams are on the ice 30 minutes left in this bronze medal matchup. 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the Norwegian penalty, as a big kill coming up here for them. So many dynamic players that we've talked about in this Republic of Korea team, capable of breaking a game open. And it's been good goaltending so far in this game by Yu Meng-yun. I think he only really had one shot to face on goal, at least. A couple of attempts at the net, but not a busy period for him. And we'll see what happens at the other end of the ice, as for the next 80 seconds, the Koreans will have a man advantage.
Yeah, the one shot that goes in on Yu Meng-yun that we saw in the highlight there, it goes wide, and maybe because it was a little bit awkward in the way he tried to attempt to get to it, then probably realizes that there's no real reason to play it, because it's going wide, it's going to bounce out. Sometimes you end up doing more harm than good playing a puck that's going wide, and he didn't have a whole lot to deal with, and that's the point here about this minute and 20, is that if Korea are able to score again, it could be good night Irene. And that's a difficult one for Norway. With just over 15 minutes gone in this hockey game, it could happen early in the second period, where they find themselves really on the outside looking in a game that they worked so hard to get into. And you just wonder how much they left on this ice last night when they played against Italy to give themselves this opportunity today.
Coaches are set, players are set. And I talked at the start of the tournament on the opening day, when we were evaluating all the teams and where they might finish. I had called the Norwegians bridesmaids because at the last two international events, the 2015 World Championship and the 2014 Paralympic Games in Sochi, they'd finished 4th place. They've lost the bronze medal game in the last two major international events. And if they can't right the ship here, it might be an unfortunate three-peat.
To start this second period, it is the opening goal scorer of this game who takes the draw, Lee Jung-sung. And he, of course, he got that wrap around, and it was just pretty much gift wrapped, as he was able just to come around from behind the net. Maybe gets a little bit of a favorable touch there off of Hamar's stick, but I don't think you can suggest that Hamar hadn't quite executed his assignment on that play, as it's been cleared down the length of the ice, and inside of a minute, that's important. That's a good opening clearance, because if start with 120, by the time they're back in a position to get a shot, it's going to be down to likely 30 seconds. So this has been a kind of a slow and staggering start, but now all of a sudden things pick up with one pass into the offensive zone, and you just feel the intensity in the building pick up. Here's a shot there, and that left hand from Kim Young-sung is about as lethal as anything we've seen delivered in this tournament. And they'll move to the backside here as Dong-shin can't quite take it. That's Jang Dong-shin, and it will come out of the zone. And this for Norway is a little bit of a breather, although they've got a few more precious seconds. There again, the big heavy shot, and they're whistling over is Cho Young-jae. And you see these players are often surprising with just how quickly they unload, because they could just as easily make a pass and make a 10-foot pass, and then they're ripping one for 70, 80 feet up off the glass over the goal, and it's often very surprising just how powerful they are.
Yeah, a lot of these guys able to get those shots off in a hurry and get them elevated quickly. A lot of the top of the net to work with. We'll take another look at the opportunity here. This one going just wide off the stick of Kim Young-sung. Already has a goal in the game. Coaching staff has to enjoy that. And now that the Norwegians have killed off that penalty, let's see if they can start pushing the puck up the ice and dictating a little bit offensively. 13:37 here to go in the second period. And if Norway wants to have an opportunity, they'll need to get something going, as Bogle has a chance to race away with the puck.
He's done well there. And of course, as you see, back to 5-on-5, and they have, as a team, done well. This has been turned over. Nice play to the backside. Here's a shot, and that is Pedersen, who gets the best look of the game so far for Norway, and they've been able to draw a penalty in the process, as a little bit of urgency now comes into the Norwegian game, and they need that, as out comes Hamar in favor of an extra out skater. And now with the touch from Korea, this a power play, and how quickly fortunes can change. Wouldn't this be the golden time for Norway to get on the board?
Well, a terrific scoring opportunity from the Norwegians. Some very nice passing. One-touch pass leads to a great opportunity. We'll take another look here. Look at the quick touch right there, and then on the stick, off the stick. There was a lot of open net on the glove side to work with, but the shot from Pettersson goes back to the blocker side. And there's a 2-minute interference penalty here against Lee Jong-kyung, 43-year-old from the Republic of Korea, playing in his 4th World Championships, has his team shorthanded right now, although the Koreans do a nice job of getting the puck down ice, and back forward is Pettersson. So the Norwegians look to set things up offensively.
That shot from Pettersson was something. We see the goaltenders prefer to make the saves with their gloves or with their hands, generally with their glove. And he makes it with the blocker, just an unbelievable save.
Pettersson getting the puck in over the line, and battling for it is out in Bakke, as the Norwegians try to set something up here. A very aggressive penalty kill by the Republic of Korea. They make it difficult on other teams who are on the power play, but the one thing that it does do is if you can beat a man, you can get a lot of open ice, try to set up a quality look, but right now the Norwegians being kept to the outside.
It's been settled so far. As far as the build-up, there hasn't been a whole lot of fast, furious puck movement. There's a shot into the body, and maybe is he just covering it up, or is he potentially injured? It's now squirted out, and now as Jakobsen was maybe looking at going to Solberg, that's been kept in, and just enough here to be recovered by Norway. They certainly are getting a rough ride, and I'm just wondering whether Gangneung Shin is a little bit feeling worse for wear over there. He took that shot in the body, and I wondered whether or not he was just bent over trying to recover from that, but he was just had the puck corralled in his body. What a move there. That is a wonderful play by the opening goal scorer in this game here, as Lee Jung-sung just does a 360 to himself and clears it the length of the ice.
How do you like that? A little creative defensive effort there from Lee Jung-sung. That is an amazing bit of athleticism, and now the Norwegians with an opportunity, a shot. Vernes rips one just wide. Not sure if Yu Mang-young got a piece of that or not, but a good scoring opportunity here as the power play expires for Norway.
And a good shot and better sequence offensively for Norway with the player advantage. A little more confident as Pettersson now will roll forward, and he can equally score with just, you give him one look and things could be different here in a hurry. He could cut that lead for Korea in half. As Solberg backside, it's over to Pettersson. Pettersson go right and left. He's now immediately got a blue shadow on him from the Korean players. There's 3-4 of them just hovering around him like a haze out there, as this one will be cleared down the length of the ice, and icing will be called against Korea. And at 10:26 officially in the game 28 here by the central score clock, it's Korea with a 2-0 lead over Norway.
Some really nice puck movement there by the Norwegians. Maybe being a little too selective in the end as they're unable to get a shot on goal, but that is really crisp, really nice passing. They're having a difficult time finding shooting lanes, though, as a solid defensive effort by the Koreans. And they'll just have to start throwing pucks at the net at some point, hoping for rebounds, deflections, and some traffic in front.
And we go back to that save that was made by Yu Mang-young. We talk about how generally the players like to make it, or the goaltenders make the glove save preferably. A lot of them will come across their body to make the glove save. He uses the blocker, and we don't see a lot of blocker saves, but he has been ready and able, so it's not as if he's going to try to overcompensate. He's going to take whatever's thrown at him and deal with it accordingly, but his defense in front of him are going to have to tidy up any rebounds that might be there. Chung Si-won is coming hard. Oh, he almost makes a move, but he's drawn a penalty as Jakobsen has to step forward, and he gets a little bit tangled up with him there, but that's the movement, that's the deception. The left-right jiggle there from Chung Si-won has drawn a penalty.
That's the speed that causes problems for the opposition. Korean power play when we come back. 2-0 the score. We are back inside the Gangneung Hockey Center. Just under 10 minutes to go here. We'll take another look at the penalty, and there it is. Jakobsen coming across the middle of the ice. He gets tangled up with the speedy Chung Si-hwan, and now a 2-minute power play for the Koreans.
In a good position here, shot down low. Hamar doesn't have it secured yet. It's still live, and that was still going on until you heard the whistle, where that could have been played by any of the Koreans, who were all looking for it like a needle in the haystack. And from our vantage point, you could even see it right from the first, what looked to be a controlled save from Hamar, that it was still live.
Well, a lot of traffic here, and it's a good opportunity, again, just to create some chaos in front of the goal. The puck's sitting there just near the trapper side, the blocker side rather, and unable to put the puck in the back of the net are the Koreans. There you see Jakobsen in the box serving his penalty for elbowing, as he had a bit of a flying chicken wing coming across the ice by the blue line. And now a setup here as the Koreans look to put a third up on the board.
This is dangerous now for Norway. They've already had to kill one inside the second period, and here they are again with their backs against the wall, having to defend for their bronze medal lives. Realistically, as Pettersson's going to go. Pettersson could find a lane here. He's going to be tracked back. He's laid it out, and there again, that's the backtracking pressure from Korea. So just when you think you might get some daylight, they are just as quick to put a shadow on that prospect, as this will be lobbed in. Hamar's got a problem. It's up and over the top of the net, as that one there, like a pogo stick, it just as easily could have gone in as it bounced over. And that would have been a heartbreaker, as they've already had really one misgiving in this hockey game.
I tell you what, Norway is just flirting with disaster here, down 2-0, getting into a little bit of penalty trouble, as they did take a penalty rather late in the first period, but it bled into the second period, and now another penalty as we have a stoppage in play here.
Too many players on the ice, potentially. They indicated it quickly. They just did a circle of the wagon. The linesman just kind of pointing with their finger, indicating too many. And yes, that's exactly what it is as they come across. And that's happened a number of times for Korea in this tournament.
You're absolutely right, Brent. Bench minor there. Too many men in the ice. It will be served by the captain. So now the playing field leveled for the next 37 seconds. We'll play a 4-on-4, and then an opportunity for Norway with a man advantage, but oh, a great outlet pass here, just a little too much for Chung Si-hwan. He only had one player to beat, and when he gets the puck with speed in a situation like that, it can be so dangerous, especially with just 4 skaters aside. There's a great save by Yu Mang-yun.
What a sequence there. Could have been Chung Si-hwan already down on a breakaway, and then almost the other way, Norway scores, as both of these teams are trading chances here in this sequence now with the reduced player each side, 4-on-4, and then the power play will be coming up for Norway as they have that too many players on the ice. Here comes Jakobsen, and it is Norway with a man advantage, but just not quite as clean on the control as they might have wanted to have been there. Pettersson is the player that they will expect to set the table here. It's been read, though, by Chung Si-hwan. He'll go for a little bit of a skate, but he gives it right back to Pettersson. Pettersson can step in here. Pettersson maybe could have taken it himself. A backside play, and Varnas gets handcuffed, and he sends a dribbler just past the far post. If there's a player there, it's a great pass, but it wasn't the design. He wanted to get a shot off, and now Korea up high in the zone. They're being stretched defensively. They're going to need to clean things up here because Norway are around the idea of scoring their first. And this one will finally be elevated and cleared the length of the ice. And Park Woo-chul with a great clearance here just to give Korea a little bit of a break.
Well, here's an opportunity for the Koreans. Nice stick movement there. And I think Cho Young-jae didn't realize if he had just put that left-hand shot on goal, he might have had an open net to work with. But look at the speed and the creativity here from the Koreans.
There's only 2 players in the tournament, Brody Roybal and equally Chung Si-hwan, that can go in reverse on their sled and still look as though they're involved in the play, trying to make a set play. He was making a fadeaway little sauce pass there was his design, and those 2 players have such great control of their body weight on the sleds. They can do that. It's a very rare skill to see players going in reverse and still engaged and trying to make positive play.
Norwegians finally had a couple of good looks on net themselves, but unable to score. And the difference in this game, to me, so far, has just been the speed of the Republic of Korea. They're able to put themselves in good situations. Here's a one-time opportunity in front of the net, and Cho Byung-suk just has it heel off of his stick. But look at the speed and look at the great opportunities being generated here.
Oh, they're coming. They are likely to score here. You get a sense, Korea. They don't get that many. They had 3 for $1 there, and unfortunately, they didn't quite have enough. It was a Korean dollar, and it didn't quite bank in. As generally from that type of range, they have been money in the bank.
A flurry of activity there, some great opportunities by the Republic of Korea. You get the sense that if they get one more in this hockey game, it'll be too much for the Norwegians to overcome. And boy, they had some great looks there, but a good job by the Norwegians to make sure that puck doesn't find the back of the net. But you look at the speed again here on display from the Korean side.
Oh my, down this right wing, it's a heavy game here. The big body who's gonna take it into space. This is Cho Young-jae. He was the player who came out in front of the goal, and I'm not sure that he entirely knew. Oh, that's tricky. That's as clever as here it comes. They're gonna get a shot off. This one's up, it's still live. Norway are under siege here and are doing enough just to keep this scoreline at 2. And the puck all of a sudden has just disappeared, and that probably is entirely their good luck.
The old hidden puck trick as they're looking at Chung Si-hwan here, and nobody knows where it is. We'll find it, and we'll be back in a second. Welcome back inside the Gangneung Hockey Center. A flurry of action down at the Norwegian goal. Some great opportunities here, as just whiffing on that shot was Cho Byung-suk. A great look at an open net. That was one of about 5 chances in the last couple of minutes. The Norwegians finding a way to hang around in this game, and as much pressure as the Korean side has had lately, it's still a 2-goal game. And if the Norwegians can find a way to put one in the back of the net, they'll be very much alive here.
A broken play, and is that an injured player, or is he just needing to get his equipment there? I think he's probably going to be okay, but still struggling, and maybe just having a watchful eye on that, as now it's played around and still laboring. That's Hamra. I think he's back. Going now! Here's a play, and while we're focusing on that, that is a loose play that could have been the first goal of the game for Norway.
What another terrific opportunity to score. We've seen so many good scoring chances in the second period, most by the Republic of Korea, but another chance there by Norway as well. Both teams hunting for the crucial next goal in this game. If the Norwegians get it, it's a one-shot hockey game, and if the Republic of Korea gets it, it's probably game over. So important as both teams start to elevate their play here and push offensively.
You get a very real sense that this game is just teetering on the brink here, and the brink is so fragile that maybe a play like this that looked like it's broken up is still alive, and we have seen that where plays look as though they're maybe been brought to their conclusion somehow, or brought to life again by the opposition. As we look at this here again, Chung Si-hwan on the boards, and Klakeg, don't you know it, Klakeg involved, throws one, it goes off the post past Young Min Young in goal, and he is as lucky as you would want to be in goal to have the benefit of what is well known as the goaltender's best friend.
Klakeg so quick to go right to left there. and get a quality shot on net. I think it surprised Gangneung more than anything. It wasn't that it was taken with a terrific amount of pace, but it was a quick shot, a deceptive release, and nearly the first goal of the game for the Norwegians.
Yes, there's always a sense that a goal must be taken with great flair and great precision, but how many times are broken shots that didn't quite get fully connected with more deceptive for a goaltender to want to have to save or to be in a position to be able to save, as it's been played in now by Norway and inside this remaining 3 minutes of this second period. And if they could find a late goal here, wouldn't that just change the story of this hockey game? As a 2-0 lead, as they often say, is the worst lead to have. You're a goal away from really being comfortable, and then you're a shot away from really having a problem. As here is Cho Byung-suk comes across the line. Oh, it's into a position here. This could be trouble. But recovering in time is Sahlberg, and almost going out through the end of the building there was Cho Young-jae. He just turned in time as he was going hard and heavy into the end boards. And this now, Korea will just keep it live in the neutral zone. Here's Pettersson. Pettersson might have a lane here. Pettersson can come to the net. He's heavy enough and strong enough, but he doesn't get the shot off that he needed to take. And he just throws his man down in the corner as he looks to challenge up against him. And now Pettersson will release it. A little bit of a slash there. Pettersson, nothing happening. The referee keeping a close eye on that one. And it's to the near side. And Norway cannot keep it in the zone. And Pettersson has a temper. And Korea pushing against him on that. He's also a player that when you get under him, oh, this is dangerous. In front here. And Chung Young Si-won, oh boy, again, like a predator, searching for his prey, and his prey is a piece of vulcanized rubber that he almost just came up with there, but that was a spinorama again from Pettersson.
Nice stick handling there to get himself out of trouble. Minute and 21 seconds to go here in the second period. We've seen really great looks from both teams. No goals so far in this period, but certainly more scoring chances than we saw in the first period at both ends of the ice. It's been very fast-paced para ice hockey here in period number 2.
Quick 1-2 movement. That's a great passing sequence. That angle of from the half wall to the point down low quickly gets a decent shot away for Norway, but Norway haven't maybe found their shooting sights yet in this game. With now 56 seconds remaining in the second period, they'll have an offensive zone face-off and a chance for a line change. As we look back on this sequence here, up to Pettersson, down low quickly. It's that puck movement that creates a seam here for Sahlberg. 3 goals already in the tournament, and there with designs of getting a 4th.
The fans certainly enjoying this second period of action. 56.6 seconds left on the clock. And there has been a ton of it at both ends of the ice. We'll see if Norway can try to generate something here late in the second period, an offensive zone face-off for them. They would love to get into the second intermission, trailing by just 1.
Face-off, well taken. It's an important one in which to possess as well. This, however, hasn't been as clean out of the zone, and that backhand play so sensibly delivered, and the timing of it from Pettersson as Jakobsen rips one just under the dasher, well wide of the goal, but a ferocious deposit potentially in on Korea's goal. Ultimately, it's a dump in, but Klakeg again. Is he going to get rid of one? He does, maybe a little too late though. Immediately in that shooting lane, you've got 4 Koreans, and they are making, of course, a better door than a window, as there's no easy portal through to Gangneung late in the second period. Maybe one more chance here for Pettersson. Pettersson has just given himself enough room there, but closing down, and they know it to Korea. Do not give him time or he could break you, and that will in fact break through the 30-minute barrier in this hockey game, as the same lead that went into the break after 15 is retained by Korea. Chances both sides in a very entertaining second period, but it's Republic of Korea 2-0 still over Norway in the bronze medal match at these Para Ice Hockey World Championships.
Through 2 periods of play, it is a 2-0 score. The Republic of Korea, the host nation, out in front of the Norwegians. Mike Kelly and Brent Pope with you, and so much pace in that second period. We had a flurry of action at both ends of the ice, really good quality opportunities for both teams. Ultimately, no goals were scored, but you don't always need goals in a hockey game or a para-ice hockey game to have excitement, and the fans were buzzing in this building. So many great quality chances.
There was better chances in the second period, realistically, than there were in the first. There just weren't any goals. So full credit to both of the goaltenders in that second 15 as we look at some of the action here. As the play comes at, this is a long distance one where Hamar has it bumping and jumping at him. Goes up over the crossbar, then Pettersson sends in a long one, and that rebound is as much a problem too. It comes out about 10 feet in front, and if you're a Norwegian player, as Varnes tries to come in there to get to it first, well, that's just a gorgeous opportunity to step into one. And if you get the momentum of coming in behind there, that's a goal that normally we would have seen put away as Choa Byung-suk, who had been suspended for a couple of games, gets out there, maybe doesn't quite have his game rhythm about it, but we have seen the Koreans score that one. How they don't score there, this went on for about 30 seconds and leading up to it there where they had 3 real cracks at it. And then this one just lobbed in, looks like nothing, but Klakeg, who is ever the opportunist, puts one off the post. And next thing you know, we have a little bit of chaos at times in comparison to what we saw in the first period and what both of these teams, they don't necessarily play a wide open style. As much as we've seen the transition from Korea in this tournament where they like to strike when an opportunity is there, they keep a pretty reserved structure about how they deal with things. And generally, there is their player, Jung-Si Won, who's back low behind his own goal line, trying to start the breakouts. So it was a great period. It just didn't have any goals, but certainly had a lot of entertainment for the fans here.
Well, the Norwegians had to open things up a little bit, down 2 goals going into the second period, so you see more chances for them, but also more coming back the other way as a result of a less defensive-minded effort. 8-6 the shots on goal through 2 periods of play. The face-offs heavily favoring the Republic of Korea, and for a speedy team, a team that can get the puck up the ice quickly and use that speed to their advantage, when they're winning face-offs and starting the play with possession of the puck, that is dangerous for them. 2 penalties each on each side, so we'll see which way the penalties go in the third period. They'll start at even strength, and we'll see if the pace of the play keeps up to where it is now, as the Norwegians have 15 minutes to try to get at least 2 goals and force this game to extra time if they want to avoid finishing another 4th place finish rather, what would be their 3rd straight in major international competition. More from the second intermission when we come back in just a moment. It's 2-0 Republic of Korea. 2 periods down and 1 to go. It is 15 minutes, all that separates the host nation Republic of Korea from a bronze medal here at the 2017 World Para Ice Hockey Championships. What a tournament it has been. We are in the middle game on the final day of action. It is day number 8 here at the World Championships. Earlier today, it was Italy with a 4-0 win over Sweden. What do they get for finishing 5th in the tournament? Well, they get automatic qualification to the 2018 Paralympics.
And that realistically is the first goal of these teams coming into this World Championship. 7 teams, you want to finish as one of the top 5. So for Italy, as much as they were disappointed to fall to Norway in yesterday's match, they got the business done in the first one today. And so, of course, they get that automatic qualification. For Sweden, they'll have an opportunity later on the year to qualify, and of course Germany will as well through another tournament to still be able to be a part of things at the Paralympic tournament in just under a year's time here in Pyeongchang. But this one, as we see at the end of the second period, it's Republic of Korea in a good position to be able to claim a bronze medal. The last World Championships they compete at, it's a gold medal, but that's in Pool B. Now they're at the best and playing the best in the world here in Pool A, and they are proving that they are one of the best teams in the world by right, not just simply because they're hosts and that they're going to be in the Paralympic Games next March. And then, of course, the one that everybody is waiting for as well, the gold medal match, the expected one. It's a North American tilt, and these two teams, both Canada and United States, are really still the 2 best in the world. It's going to be it's going to be a wonderful match to watch.
Earlier in the tournament, in the preliminary game between the two teams, it was the Americans with a 2-1 win. Canada did open the scoring in that game, and they had a lot of quality opportunities as well. It will be interesting to see what happens as the Americans have now appeared in 12 consecutive gold medal games in major international competition. Of the 11 that they've already competed in a row, they've won 9. They, of course, are the defending world champions, trying to make it back-to-back here in the Republic of Korea. That is what we are looking forward to a little bit down the line. But right now, we're looking forward to period number 3 between the Republic of Korea and Norway. That is coming up next. 15 minutes of hockey, all that separates the host nation from a bronze medal. Two 2-0 the Republic of Korea with the lead over Norway through 2 periods of play. How did we get there? Well, let's take a look at the goal scorers so far in this game. It's Lee Jung-sung and Kim Young-sung as well, making it 2-0 for the Republic of Korea. We'll take a look at the goals here. And the first one coming off a bit of a broken play as Hamar coming out to play the puck. Nothing wrong with that, but it's just a little bit too far for Jakobsen.
Well, he comes a long way out, doesn't he, Hamar? And then because he comes too far out, he doesn't get a chance to recover. Look where he is. He sat still watching it. If he responded quicker, then maybe he did, and there's no blame here on Hamar, but the whole play just wasn't a great one for Norway. They end up getting exposed as they were a little bit casual and then maybe a little bit uncertain, and the combination was paralyzing for them defensively, and they exposed themselves for the first one. And then the second one here from Chung Si-won was just about a player who's able to make things happen that other players cannot. He attracted 2 defenders, and in doing so, he bought time for his teammate in front of the goal, and they just made it happen on a bang-bang play. And those are the 2 goals that you see on the score there as confirmation. Republic of Korea, after now 2 periods, nothing happened in that second period. And if you've been following us along for the entire tournament, and this one so far, you can see that Republic of Korea are in a very good position right now. They are a team that should be able to, but saying that, they had a 2-0 lead against Italy, and they ended up letting that slip from their grasp in the third period. So they are a team that has been playing in low-scoring games, and they are capable of locking this down and should be able to see this across the finishing line for a bronze medal. But of course, Norway, more experienced in these games and have been playing a more seasoned veteran program of para ice hockey. Never count them out.
Setting up to be a really exciting finish here as we are nearing puck drop. The fans are certainly into it. They know that they are potentially 15 minutes away from seeing their country claim a bronze medal here at the World Championships. And they were playing in this World Championships regardless, as they are the host nation. But they won the B pool in 2015, so they earned their right to be here. And how far have they come in the last World Championship, not even taking part in the A pool, and now an opportunity to win a medal?
Well, it's a fascinating journey, and you can see slowly how it's picking up momentum, and it's starting to snowball here as more people come into the building for this third period of play. And I think there'll be more again for the gold medal match, although this is the crescendo really for local interest that the Republic of Korea are here in this bronze medal game. But they are a developing story. It's not a Cinderella story, but what it is almost a little bit like rags to riches, isn't it? A program that has had to develop in the shadow of hosting these Paralympic Games, and they are so worthy now at this World Championship level.
Here we go, puck drop on period number 3. Norway needs at least a couple. Can they find a way to get on the board in the early stages of this period and close the gap to 1?
Park Woo-chul will take control of it, and they, again, a good, sensible feed here. Chung Si-won gets hit hard. He stays on it, though. How about that? He collapses down, smothers the puck, and as much as he gets momentarily dropped, he just kept retention of the puck, and for a second, they flirt again, Korea, as Pedersen now seems to have pushed up into a more offensive position for Norway, and they're going to have to take a few more chances than they have done so far in this hockey game. Pedersen is one of those players capable of it. As he sends a long one in, it just goes wide. It just was a dangerous shot. Wasn't quite as accurate as he wanted, but that one will be offside. So interesting to see how Espen Hedge will employ his Norwegian side to be a little bit more chance-taking in this remaining portion here, as we're just inside of a minute gone. There you see him. He collapses, but then equally stays on the puck. And so all that good work from Morstoga is great, but he doesn't separate the man from the puck. And that is one of the other qualities that you see from Chung Si-won. Just a great puck manager. Is this for Norway? Down low, out here for Pedersen. A shot there. And I don't know whether Yu Ming-yong just knew that that was going wide or whether he just didn't see it. But he didn't respond with his hands up to try to be ready to at least deal with that shot. But equally, he had a better look at it from his vantage point than we do. This one's now just got through Pedersen. And coming back, Hamra. And this is, we've seen a little bit of just hot potato here in the neutral zone. Neither team particularly laying claim to it. And it's going to be Klakegg, and he just, as he has proven over the last 24 hours, maybe the man with the Midas touch, potentially for Norway, that might give them a little bit of what they need here. Something from nothing is ultimately what they need to generate, and with an offensive zone face-off, maybe a chance here to generate something.
An icing call there against the Republic of Korea. A good start there as the Norwegians had some decent zone time, and they'll have to find a way again to turn this zone time and turn these opportunities into real quality chances on net. That's the one thing they haven't been able to do so far. They've missed the net a few times. We're seeing shots get blocked. They've got to find a way to get some pucks through and really test Gangneung, who's a terrific goaltender. It will likely take more than just a couple good opportunities to beat him, so they need to start finding a way to really pressure the Korean netminder.
Oh, that's a scramble. Sahlberg gets it out, and that one goes off of the edge of the netting, and almost just that slight angle change at the last second seemed to create enough separation for Norway maybe to get this one up, but this is a sloppy play trying to get out of their own zone. You see Sahlberg, who's able just to get it out, and the way it comes off that side netting, it creates a better angle for the attempted shot, and Norway will just maintain an offensive zone face-off here, and that's the kind of play really where something wasn't happening there, or they made something when it looked as though it should have been a play under control for Korea. This is good separation to come up against Pedersen. Again, the body being played to Sahlberg as a rough ride coming out of his own blue line, and another attempt here finally arrives with Varnes, and he'll just advance it forward, but it's Norway who has to make plays. The pressure is on them to make them now, or at least absorb a little bit more of an aggressive Korean attack, but the Koreans haven't been overly aggressive. They take chances when they're there. They don't necessarily force the issue, other than when it's Jung Si-won, who will, when he has the puck on a stick and he's got some time, he will in fact control the puck as long as he sees it's an advantage for them. But this is Pedersen, who just circles around, and immediately the Koreans, they don't waste any time. They elect to play physically.
Couple of physical plays by both teams here as the puck just hung up there at the blue line. And now a chance for the Koreans with an offensive zone draw to try to put something on goal.
Min-soo puts it in. Norstoga goes back. He slings it around, and Sahlberg's there. He just tries to parry it onwards and just give it his portion of the defensive responsibility to try to advance it, but Sahlberg now picks it out, but he's played it ultimately right to Korea, and this is pretty easy stuff there, but that's been broken up. Will they go? Will they go? They've got to get going quicker than they did. It was very deliberate from Jakobsen, and then they've just really taken away their own momentum there, potentially Norway. What looked like a chance, but it's gone to the far side for Pedersen, and he throws the brakes on. Out front, good feed. Read well here by Chung, and he'll just slow up. And that's, again, good puck management. They don't throw it down the ice because the crowd got excited in and around them. They just are playing good, fundamental pair ice hockey right now. And Norway are going to have to beat them. Doesn't look as though Korea is going to beat themselves. And we say that, that's certainly an honest statement, not in jest, because there are teams who do overcook it and try to go for a third goal and expose themselves defensively. That's not Korea's style, but this is for Sahlberg. To Oyseth, there's a good shot, but it's not accurate enough, and it'll be collected by Korea. Oh, that could have been an awkward hit there, and a lot of speed coming into that one. Seems to be all right. That's Klakeg, who had his man lined up, and he just got a piece of it and lost his stick for a moment. But Korea in behind the goal. Cho Biasuk, and it comes out, and it's just nudged forward to Hamar, and he will freeze it for a whistle with 10:41 to go in this third period.
10:41 to go here in the third period. The Republic of Korea hanging on to a 2-0 lead. We're starting to see some good pressure by both sides here as we have a face-off in the Norwegian zone and a chance for another opportunity here for the Koreans.
They take it well, and they advance it down deep, and they are forcing Norway to have to work to get it from them, as this is a great cycle from the Koreans, as they've made already 4 passes. Here's a 5th, and that really, you expected them to bang that one home. They have scored that goal, and it's their number 27 again. And as we talk about him, he hadn't had the opportunity to play in his tournament as much as everybody else, Cho Byung-suk, but this was a perfectly executed face-off, and then ultimately, what was a goal-scoring chance.
This is the second time he's had an opportunity for a one-timer in front of the net in a prime scoring area. See a nice pass, just out of the screen. He fans on the shot. Had a similar play in the second period where he had a chance at a one-timer and healed it a little bit. And another great chance as the net was wide open for him there, unable to slide it in. We still have a hockey game here with a 2-0 score.
So closing in on 10 minutes, as you can see, remaining in the third period. And of course, we have seen the drama of 2-goal leads evaporate in this para ice hockey tournament, and it's happened to Korea, who have had one. As now Chung, he goes up, the glove save made by Hamar, and he'll settle things down. And you really are feeling, as we stand from our position here and look on, Mike, this building starting to raise an expectation, not only for what they're witnessing on the ice now, but of course, this is the bronze medal game, the gold still to come, as we look at that shot from Chung, as he elevates it. And there, Hamar equal to it. This is Klakeg into the corner. And he immediately has the Korean forecheck and Chung Si-won. How often do we say his name in a para ice hockey game? Well, we lose count, don't we? As pretty much every shift, we speak at least 5 times about the things he's doing on the ice at both ends of the rink. As here is now Varnes across this line and holding up again. This is movement, and it's good movement. From Solberg across to Pedersen. And Pedersen gets a good slinging shot in on goal, and he sends an arrow just over the top of the crossbar.
A terrific opportunity there, and a quick release again. We see so often in para ice hockey, it's the quick releases that can really fool a goaltender. And that was a terrific chance for the Norwegians, who again, they get quality looks, but they struggle to put the puck on net. We'll take another look at it. Getting the puck here in the high slot, quickly off the stick, and that just misses the right post there, or the left post rather, if you're looking at it from behind the net. The face-off will come outside now. Some nervous energy perhaps on the Republic of Korean bench, as it was that close to being a 1-goal hockey game.
A great look at it from that camera angle behind the goal, and you see it was just starting to dip. There is enough elevation, probably about the halfway point of the goal when it was at its apex, and then it was coming down over that crossbar, and that's by design, as it was shot by Pedersen. And he has enough English on a shot to be able to find a way inside of the goal from that range. But this, for Korea, will be sent the length of the ice and icing against them as the Norwegians look on, and they'll have a trick or two, but ultimately they need one shot. That's going to be a little bit, and it may not be a game breaker, but it's certainly going to loosen things up if they score one from this range now, as it will be Hamra who puts it back to the blue line. It's Pedersen who handcuffs him really with a high shot into the body, and it just ricochets away, kept in well by Norstoga on the far side. Odin Bakke, who had a wonderful 2-goal effort to beat Germany. He scored that overtime goal. Here's Cho Byung-suk, and now here they come. Big hit here, as you expect Pedersen to separate the man from the puck. He does exactly that. And it is now broken up, and Korea are having to do the work defensively.
Well, that's what the Norwegians have to do, is start stepping up at the red line. As you'll see again here, a play by Pedersen stepping up. He gets control of the puck. That's how they're going to create offense. They have to be risky. They have to get opportunities, and a glorious opportunity there, as Martin Hamra sent it just wide of the goal. But great puck movement and great anticipation by the Norwegians as they finally start to put something together.
And Pedersen again a chance, and that was as well crafted by Norway as anything I've seen them do in this tournament. It just lacked the finish. It was all the cake, but no icing on the play, as they're going to have to work to get out of the offensive zone here to transition to come back. But right now, they're coming in waves, and this is the push. Coming from Norway, they've got to score a goal here early. They can't afford to try to score 2 inside the last 5 minutes. That's too ambitious, as Pedersen keeps it inside the blue line. He's still going. He's like a truck. Oh, they've got problems as Gangneung makes a save, and goodness me, did he have to? He had nothing behind that glove hand. It would have gone in the short side.
Well, wide open in the front of the net there was Martin Hamre, who had all sorts of time. They couldn't get the puck to him, but here's another look at the chance. Pedersen, a great feed over to Hamre, and he can't put it in there. And then just a moment ago, he was wide open in front of the net, but the Norwegians unable to get him the puck. Really seeing a strong push now from Norway with just over half the third period in the books. And as you mentioned, Brent, they absolutely need a goal before long here, as you don't want to have to wait to score 2 quick ones in the final couple minutes. Really nice pressure here and a big momentum swing. We'll see if it can pay off for Norway.
Korea right now are bending defensively. And can they stay with these wins and keep themselves upright with this 2-0 scoreline? Pedersen, a shot. The blocker save from Gangneung. He made a glove save a moment ago, but don't underestimate how difficult that was, as he tipped the front end of the trapper up and made sure to keep it secure in the back end. Pedersen almost negotiates the far side of goal with that shot.
Well, here comes the Rocket Man.
And Chung Si-won picks up the loose change, and the Pedersen miss. Oh, he scores! And you talk about lights out there from Chung Si-won. He has maybe just put a bronze medal in the cabinet at World Championship Pool A level for the Republic of Korea.
Speed, speed, and more speed. The puck gets rimmed around on a missed shot, and Chung Si-won, the first one to it, and he goes upstairs, top corner on the short side. The speed game for the Koreans has been so effective all tournament long. The crowd going absolutely wild here. Smiles on the faces as Chung Si-won has likely just scored a bronze goal for this Republic of Korea, now with a 3-0 lead, 6:46 to go. And that is heartbreaking for the Norwegians, who just enjoyed a couple of minutes of golden opportunities at the other end. But that's the story of this game, capitalizing on your chances. The Norwegians haven't, the Koreans have.
And just as you watch him take that line to the net, you almost think to yourself, surely he's not going to just pick himself the juiciest apple off the tree and take a massive bite out of it right when Norway were flirting with cutting this lead in half, and he does exactly that. He comes right down and right in the face of Hamar, says, I'm coming, and he hoists it right up under the roof. And he is, in fact, a supremo, as you see him bouncing with momentum inside that bench area. He is a leader of a Paralympic movement here in Republic of Korea, and could very well be that in a year's time as well, as this is very special moments indeed in how they are growing in preparation to host these Pyeongchang 2018 Paralympic Games. That's a difficult one for Odin Bakke into the end boards, and he's doing the 50-yard dash there in what's ultimately a 40-yard end zone, as he really did well to stay live as he gets bolstered again by the Koreans, and a penalty now coming. And it looks like it's going to be a boarding call. And Bakke, I think, really more out of his own lack of control was the first incident, but nonetheless, it looks like a penalty's coming up against Korea, and a power play for Norway. They're 3-0 down.
5 minutes and 50 seconds, all that separates the Koreans from a bronze medal. However, they just took a penalty as it's Cho Young-jae right here. He will be called for teeing as the front end of his sled right there into the body of the Norwegian player. So into the penalty box goes Cho Young-jae, teeing call. He has competed at the national level in wheelchair rugby, so he knows how to play a physical game, but a little over the top. And now the Norwegians, boy, do they need one here. They need to get a power play goal. They need to get it quickly, and then they need to score a couple more.
It's Pedersen who will have control. In behind his own goal, he's got some speed. And as well, he's looking for the right line. He's offloaded it, and it's a little bit behind Klakeg, his defensive mate there. And Chung just sends it down the ice and says, you're going to have to try that one again. And here they will reload as Odin Pake, number 22. It's just laid it over for Pedersen, but again, just ahead of him, angle-wise, it's read well by Korea. Korea, again, just circling and waiting for when to assert themselves, try to find a pinch point in this power play, try to get a turnover if they can. They have been very aggressive, wide loops. They'll force now Norway to pull up and stop with this player advantage. And it's now Pedersen looking to see where is the best place to try to open up this Korean defense. Bakke will just pivot against himself, and he'll return and recycle this, but it's up high. Need to make sure they aren't a little too cute with things, as they'll go for a break if you give them. The Koreans again, Pedersen. He hasn't found a real look yet. Hasn't found the passing lane. There's a nice offload back to Bakke. He's going to shoot it, and it's still live. It's in front. It's still going, and it scrambles on. Will they get a play? And it's still going. Right on top is the official, and the Canadian Webinger in a perfect position in which to allow that play to continue.
A mad scramble at the side of the net there, and this is just tough puck luck all game long for the Norwegians, as there is contact by Vernes there, but it's initiated by the Korean Gangneung Shin. And then here you see the puck. Everybody's whacking away at it. Nobody can put it into the net for the Norwegians, and then covered underneath the blocker, and finally by the trapper of Yu Mang-yun. All game long we have seen the Norwegians with some good scoring opportunities, but unable to finish. And the Koreans have been a little bit more opportunistic. The scoring chances might be somewhat level. It was tilted in the first period to the Koreans' favor, but certainly more level now, if not favoring the Norwegians. But the lack of finish has been troubling for them all game long. And that's why we sit at a 3-0 score in favor of the Koreans.
A few precious seconds remaining on the power play for Norway. Pedersen takes things in behind the goal. He'll try to stop on a dime. He goes the backside, they score. And that's a manufactured goal with the player advantage, as just a little bit of a sharp change of direction for Pedersen opens up the wide side, and finally Norway have broken through with their first goal of the game.
Morten Vernes in the right place at the right time, but it's about the puck control and the patience by the veteran, the 47-year-old Rolf Pedersen. He throws it on net, and there, beating Han Min-soo to the puck is Vernes. He finds a way to get a goal here for the Norwegians. It's his first of the tournament, his third point now in 7 games. And that's critical. We've got 3:59 still to go in the third period. That's one. They need another one here quickly. The Norwegians at least opening the door a little bit to give themselves a chance to get back in this game.
9 seconds is what remained on the power play, so they utilized that well. Inside of 4 minutes, as you can see in this, potentially the hockey game, certainly here in this third period, as now Chung, Siwon comes up again and says, okay, you've had your goal. We are not collapsing here now. They're going to assert themselves offensively and make Norway work harder now. 5 against 5 from inside their own defensive zone to try to, again, navigate a shot in on Yu Mang-yun in the Korean goal, but it's going to be frozen there against the boards, and it will lead to a face-off now out in the neutral zone. So we'll look back at this goal, this little pivot, little bit of a change of direction, and then just really a slung shot towards goal that maybe surprises Yu Mang-yun, but most importantly, there's a player in front to put down the rebound.
It's a good one puck battle there by Varnes. He got himself in the right position, put it in the back of the net.
Hamra will pick it up here on the near side. Here come Norway again. This couldn't quite link up. His back is the side-winding left-handed delivery. That's picked up. I think that's going to be offside for Chung. He's going to have to retreat. And a little bit more space now for Norway. And they're going to send it all the way down or not. And that's a little bit of a tough one against Korea. As a timeout has been called with that opportunity, Norway are going to pull Hamar out of goal, and they're going to utilize a timeout here right now.
Well, this is a good idea here by Espen Hegden, the Norwegian coaching staff, to take a timeout, calm things down. They will have an offensive zone face-off in the Korean zone. It looks like if they're not pulling the goaltender immediately, they're at least giving instruction as to when to come out of the net. But I would think here now, with under 3 minutes to go, this is a good opportunity for the Norwegians to pull the goaltender, get that zone time, try to win the draw, and they need to score a goal quickly. So I wouldn't be surprised if the goaltender, Hamar, comes out now as Norway diagrams a play and gives instruction to their players, gives them a bit of a breather here, and they'll send the big boys out to try to get a quick one, put themselves in a situation where one shot can tie the game for them.
Well, it's often the case you wait for the perfect time, and sometimes that never comes. And here is as good a chance as they might enjoy, Norway, in the offensive zone to pull their goaltender. We'll just see as they break themselves from that timeout formation. Looks as though he's going to go into the players' bench. So, yes, they are going to do it now. They're going to go with 6 skaters against the 5 for Korea. A defensive zone face-off. There's no power play. Hamar has come out. And here they are looking for puck pressure to reduce this deficit to 1 goal. There you see the empty net. Jacobson. And Jacobson up on this draw. He can't win it. And there's no pressure immediately on the Koreans. They have to do better than that, Norway. They've done it now. They've arrived, and they're going to have to sense and sniff this one out as Chung Si-won goes in just as quickly. And will he be able to find a way to get it out? And he just has.
So fast. He's so fast and dynamic as he just slides his way into a great position there and gets enough on the backhand to clear the puck.
And it's just body position as he shifts. Even it was on the backhand. It wasn't as strong as he would have liked. Again, he forces it, but it's been kept in here by Norway inside this near side and tight to the boards. This offloaded. Now Odin Bakke's got a chance backside, maybe looking for an Arstoga, and they are again, oh goodness.
And that's a penalty.
It's left the ice directly.
That puck goes clear out of the defensive zone, and that will be a delay of game penalty here against the Republic of Korea. 2 minutes and 9 seconds to go in the third period, and things are certainly getting interesting now. This is a great opportunity for the Norwegians here. As I mentioned, 2:09 to go. And into the penalty box goes Kim Young-sung, the 33-year-old. It was the right idea here to get the puck high off the glass and out of the zone, but he just gets under it a little bit too much. That goes clear into the stands. The Republic of Korea will take a timeout here, and now they will talk things over, as this is setting up to be quite a finish in our bronze medal game.
6 against 4. Korea have called a timeout here now. And of course, with the 6 players for Norway, Hamar stays out of the goal. And you see the instruction going on, a very personal conversation right there amongst the 4 defending players who are going to have a almighty handful of Norwegian players from all sides as soon as this puck drops here. As the faceoff will be to the left of Gangneung as he looks out and down the ice towards the empty Norwegian goal. And this is great experience for Republic of Korea, whether they concede or, of course, whether they're able to defend. This is a situation brought on by a little bit of panic and a little bit of pressure. And there, of course, a very strong left hand of Kim Young-sung, who just elevates it just a little too aggressively. And now they have themselves a real challenge. And this counts. This matters. They can really ill afford to allow a second because crazy things happen in sport. As Jakobsen with Norstoga He attempted shot in as Odenbacke will go to the far side. He immediately has a defense on him, and they are not playing cautious here as they've already stretched one defender, putting that puck pressure on. They've turned it over. It's now going a long ways. I don't think it's got enough weight, but it's certainly going towards goal. Is he going to get back in time? He does. Pedersen will just keep that away from Norway's goal for now, as we're inside comfortably 2 minutes. And again, of course, they've got the power play almost in alignment with the time left in the regulation. As here comes another look from Norway. They've got a lane, they've got a chance, they've got a play, they've got a goal. And Barnes has done it here. And within one on the power play, Norway is making life very interesting indeed inside the Gangneung Hockey Center in this bronze medal match.
Well, it was an ill-advised pass back to the point that killed a whole bunch of time, but up the ice with speed comes Solberg. He's been such an effective player for them, and he centers the puck, and a great look there by Varnes. He's got his second of the game. Don't go anywhere yet, folks. It was 3-0 the Republic of Korea. Halfway through this period, it looked like too big of a mountain to climb, but it is a 3-2 score now with 1 minute and 28 seconds to go. The Norwegians will put their goaltender back in the net. They'll wait to get possession off the face-off, and if they do, he'll be coming right back out again. But this is setting up to be an incredible finish here in the bronze medal game.
Well, apparently, Norway didn't get the memo that the home team was supposed to take the bronze here and go away and get full credit for the performance in the tournament. They have other ideas as we're just over a closing minute in regulation to go. Maybe overtime awaits.
They're not getting the goaltender out of the net either. They're in the offensive zone. There's 1 minute to go, and Hammar's just still sitting in the net. I don't understand it.
Here's Klakjeg from range, and he shoots. It's wide. It's going to be Han-Min-Soo. Plays it around. It's not heavy enough. It'll go and stay in the neutral zone. Hamar still stays in goal. It's just as curious considering they got a return from it a moment ago. I think he'll come now if they get going and advancing forward. It's maybe a little too late though, as it's broken up by Korea. And this is an interesting decision considering they got so much return from some of that tactical play. Turned over again. Maybe a chance here. There's a penalty coming as Chiobian-Suk is taken out and disrupted. And this may have been a whole lot of noise at the end with what might be and likely to be Korea with a closing out power play here now.
I have no idea what the Norwegians are doing. We'll take another look at the penalty here. That's a late hit.
Oh.
Likely an interference call there. Definitely a late hit. Maybe some frustration. But from the time the puck dropped with just over 1 minute left, for about 40 seconds, the Republic of Korea did not have possession of the puck. The Norwegians had it. They had it in their own end. They should have pulled the goalie immediately off the face-off. They didn't. They end up getting the puck into the offensive zone. Hammar's finally looking to the bench, and there's no one waving him in. They never get him out of the net. Now they take a penalty. Incredibly curious after taking the timeout, pulling the goaltender. Great tactical decisions. But now it's cost the Norwegians as we're 10 seconds away from the end of the game.
Jung Si-won will fittingly have the puck on his stick, and he'll lay it off as it will be Republic of Korea, who will take a bronze medal at the World Para Ice Hockey Championships in Gangneung. And boy, did they have to go a long way around to get it, but they only had to go 45 minutes in the end. And Norway, with a thrilling return in this game, almost brought about the drama of the tournament.
What a phenomenal conclusion to that game. The Republic of Korea played so well for such long stretches of this hockey game, and the Norwegians showing so much resilience as even down 3-0 midway through the third period, they never give up. They didn't give up in that game against Italy, which they won 1-0 just to get to this point of the tournament. And they didn't give up in this hockey game. They give us great theater here at the Gangneung Hockey Center, coming within 1 goal, but it's too little too late. And again, such a curious decision to not have the goaltender come out of the net in that final minute, give themselves an opportunity with extra skaters on the ice. The Norwegians come up a goal short, and for the 3rd time in as many major international tournaments, they will finish 4th one spot off the podium.
And a great shot there of Gangneung, all perspired and entirely, I'm pretty sure, expired from the work that went on in this hockey game. Very challenging and hard minutes for Korea as we got to the end of 45 minutes. Of course, they were tested. They took that delay of game penalty, and then they had the siege of Norwegians who had been in situations like this prior, who really knew how to take it to them. But of course, that question mark as to why Hamar also didn't get utilized with another out skater. And of course, so easy to say from this vantage point, but what a great return from Norway to stay the course in what looked like maybe a game where they had maybe gone one game too far with their maximum effort in this tournament. They proved otherwise, just how resilient and capable they are, and they were able to extend themselves to really put on a thrilling finish in this bronze medal final. But you can see confirmation of the score. It is Republic of Korea who hang on for that one-goal victory, 3-2, as we are awaiting the presentations of the player of the games. And of course, the bronze medal will be presented later after the gold medal match still to come between Canada and the United States. And that, of course, will be at 7 o'clock local time, as the presentation now for Odin Bakke. And you look at Varnes, who gets the 2 goals, but it's Bakke who gets player of the game for Norway.
A really good tournament here for Odin Bakke. We saw in the game earlier, Italy versus Sweden. Great games by both players who were awarded the player of the game, but they were also likely the MVPs of their teams in the tournament. So maybe in the final game here, they're going with more of an overall feel, as it was Varnes who scored both the goals in this game. And we'll now listen in on the announcement for the Republic of Korea.
And Chung Si-won, number 14, gets honored with it, and he gets the winning goal, that third shot. That was the third goal that we thought was lights out and good night. And it was, rather than so emphatically, it was, we're just gonna slide out of here with the bronze, with a 3-2 victory in the end, but it is the game-winning goal.
Well, at the time, it just seemed like icing on the cake, but you're absolutely right. That goal ends up being the game winner. And it was just speed, speed, and more speed in setting up the second goal, scoring the third. The Rocket Man delivers for the Republic of Korea. There's not another player like him in this tournament in terms of the skill set that he has. As the host nation, loving what they're seeing right now in the stands. The fans are on their feet, and they will remain there for the playing of the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now play the anthem of the winning team. Please honor the anthem of Team Republic of Korea.
관중 여러분, 승리팀의 국가 연주가 있겠습니다. 대한민국 팀 국기를 향해 주시기 바랍니다.
So there you have it. The host nation picks up a medal here at the 2017 World Para Ice Hockey Championships. And as Brent mentioned a moment ago, that medal will be awarded at the conclusion of the gold medal game, which is coming up at 7 o'clock p.m. local time here in the Republic of Korea. So the next couple hours, it will be celebration by the Korean players, and then they'll be back on the ice to receive their bronze medal. For the Norwegians, it's more heartbreak as they again finished 4th place at the 2015 World Championships. They finished 4th place at the 2014 Paralympic Games, and they finished 4th place at the 2017 World Championships. So a great effort by the Norwegians just to get to this game. They had to fight and claw just to get here, but once again they come short of a top 3 finish. They'll look to regroup in hopes of winning a Paralympic medal in 2018 at the Pyeongchang Games.
A very steady performance overall from Norway. Yes, there are some peaks and valleys, as you would expect when you're playing against the best in a tournament like this, but ultimately they respond well with that victory yesterday, a 1-0 scoreline. Winning 1-0 hockey games is never easy. And then here to be down 3-0, they did not quit as Republic of Korea do a lap of honor around the ice as Norway in the middle acknowledging both sides of the arena with the clapping of their own sticks. And of course, this is their real last moment on the stage, Norway. There will be one more moment for Republic of Korea when they will get those bronze medals presented to them at the conclusion of the gold medal match. So we are a third the way towards what we will see today as far as medals and how they are going to be allocated. It's been an overwhelming tournament, and we have seen so much drama, and to see that much drama in the finish of the bronze medal match, I'm not saying I was anticipating it. It really was something from Norway to still have that much left in the tank.
Well, when the score was 3-0 midway through the 3rd period, I don't think many people were anticipating we would see a photo finish to this hockey game. It's exactly what we saw, and it's a real testament to the passion and the never say die attitude of this Norwegian hockey team. We've seen it all tournament long. They've gotten to situations in this tournament where they've left points on the table, but they come back and they win games. And again, they get themselves into this hockey game. A great opportunity from Martin Hammer right there, and he's unable to put it in. He had another opportunity as well where he was at the front of the net all alone, but his teammate couldn't get him the puck. And here we see the speed and the eventual game-winning goal off the stick of Chung Si-hwan.
It just was an exceptional finish because he's being closed down there. I think he releases the puck from his heel. It's not as if he's got it right central in his blade. I don't think he gets entirely everything of it, but even when he doesn't get the perfect piece, he was more than ready to take that shot, but he took a while to corral it, gets it. This is the play, really, where Pedersen just opens things up. A little bit of a hitch there on the goal line, change of directions, and then a shot with desperation, just enough thrown towards the goal that it's a lunging save attempt from Yu Ming-young, and then of course the backside play from Varnes, who's just able to be Johnny on the spot and puts it in before Han Min-soo is able to attend to them. And then we saw this where it was coming like the ice. It didn't look like it was long enough. You thought Pedersen was going to get there, but that could have easily just bounced over his stick, or maybe a slinging last-second attempt from the Koreans to get on top. And then Varnes again comes and scores that goal. And you just thought to yourself, oh my, is this going to be an unfortunate day for Republic of Korea, who had done as much with 3 goals, you thought, to nothing, to pretty much put this game to bed. And then there, from Varnes, you think all of a sudden there's going to be a new story going on here, and it's going to be the host nation who is going to have their heart broken in a bronze medal game, when it looked like really from the onset and through the middle of the tournament that they were the team most likely to be claiming bronze in the way that they had played. They had been consistent really from beginning through to the end, and as much as there's dips for every single team, Republic of Korea are very worthy bronze medal champions.
So a bronze medal for the host nation, exciting for all the fans here. And we have a gold medal game still to come, as it will be Canada taking on the United States. It was a 2-1 game in the preliminary round in favor of the United States. Again, they've won 6 straight international competitions, but you know the Canadians will be hungry and looking for a bounce back in that game.
Well, they are looking for it, and I think the interesting part about this gold medal game is just whether or not Canada can execute it. Of course, they have appetite for it. Of course, they've got great depth and balance, but there's one thing I've noticed in the last couple of hockey games here as we've watched this tournament. The Americans have another gear. they can throw it up. But I think the Canadians can as well. It's just whether across the board, Canada can match player for player against the United States and take their chances when they come. The Americans can play a very good hockey game here and rely on an outstanding performance from Cash and maybe find a way to win gold again. For the Canadians, I think they have to almost play a perfect hockey game from first player all the way through to 15, and that's the two players that aren't in the lineup. They need to be totally strong and in unison to get a gold medal from these World Championships.
So a great game in the bronze medal game between the Republic of Korea and Norway. It is the host nation picking up the medal, which they will collect after the gold medal game. And at 7 o'clock local time, we will have that gold medal game. It's the 24th and final game of these World Championships. It's Canada and the United States for gold. We will see you then.